Number 1. The slipper limpet. The Atlantic slipper limpet, Crepidula fornicata, is not born to be a mother, it transforms into one. On the ocean floor, this mollusk exists within one of the most bizarre social structures, living towers formed by stacking individuals on top of one another. A single tower colony can consist of 3 to 12 individuals interlocking their shells and anchoring firmly to a fixed substrate. Their appearance is an evolutionary anomaly. The oval shell, measuring no more than 5 centimeters in length, features an internal limestone shelf spanning half the body, resembling the deck of a slipper. This unique anatomy renders them nearly immobile. However, this immobility is compensated for by an optimized mechanism for species survival. The order of the limpet tower is strictly dictated by sex and position. At the very bottom rests the oldest and largest female, measuring over 30 millimeters. At the apex are the younger, smaller males. This is protandrous hermaphroditism. Every slipper limpet begins its life as a male. Positioned at the top of the stack, the male extends a mating organ several times its body length to fertilize the female at the base. This equilibrium relies on a single condition, the presence of the female. If the bottom female dies, the system reorganizes immediately. The largest male, losing the biological inhibitory signals transmitted through pedal mucus from the former female, undergoes a self-update. Within 60 days, its male copulatory organ regresses, while the female reproductive tracts and glands develop. It officially becomes a female, serving as the new foundation of the tower. The smaller individuals above will then mature to take over the role of the father. Reproduction is a persistent process. The breeding season spans from February to September, peaking in May and June when 80% to 90% of females spawn. Each year, a female produces 2 to 4 broods, releasing approximately 11,000 eggs, protected within up to 50 yellow capsules beneath her shell dome. Following an incubation period of 2 to 4 weeks, larvae hatch, swimming freely for 3 weeks before locating a tower to join. Number 2. The Acanthopagris schlegeli. Acanthopagris schlegeli is not born with a fixed sex. Its identity is a biological fluid. This black sea bream possesses an ultimate survival strategy known as protandrous hermaphroditism, where life is sustained not by searching for random mates from the outside, but through an internal mechanism of self-restructuring. During the early stages of life, upon reaching 1 to 2 years of age with a body length under 25 centimeters, all individuals function as functional males. However, the true secret lies within their unique gonad, a dual-tissue organ, ovotestis, containing both testicular and ovarian cell zones side by side. As they enter their third reproductive cycle, the biological system automatically triggers an endocrine coup. The concentration of the hormone estradiol 17 beta surges multiple times, activating female-promoting genes, such as septine-A1A, while completely suppressing the genes that maintain maleness. The testicular tissue rapidly degenerates, making way for egg cells to develop into the vitellogenic stage. This process occurs simultaneously in about 50% of the population, transforming mature males into fully functional females without any physical triggers from the environment. This sex change is a perfect probabilistic equation to optimize the lineage. Larger individuals can produce more eggs. The spawning season of this species extends from spring to early summer, coinciding with a period when seawater temperatures reach 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Every year as dusk falls, the fading light stimulates intense group mating behavior just before the sun sets completely. They are broadcast spawners, releasing eggs and sperm directly into the surface water layer. The fertilized eggs are very small in diameter, measuring only about 0.8 to 1 millimeter, and carry an oil droplet to float freely within the ocean currents. The fecundity of a post-transformation female is a staggering figure, ranging on average from 1,500,000 to over 2,400,000 eggs per season. The appearance of this fish precisely reflects its predatory, lurking lifestyle among rocky reefs and coral reefs up to 50 meters deep beneath the ocean floor. The oval compressed body features a dominant grayish-black or deep black coloration, creating a perfect contrast with the silvery white belly. The most distinct and bizarre feature of their appearance is the series of indistinct vertical bands running along the body, coupled with a characteristic dark blotch right on the upper margin of the opercle, combined with highly sharp dorsal spines consisting of 11 to 12 hard spines. This distinctive pigment distribution creates an excellent visual camouflage mechanism in the darkness of the deep sea. The sex change does not alter these hard spines, but the body size shifts noticeably. Males always dominate the smaller size groups, whereas all individuals reaching the maximum size of up to 50 centimeters and achieving a long lifespan of 20 to 28 years, females that have undergone the transformation. Number 3. The Pacific cleaner shrimp. The Pacific cleaner shrimp does not seek territory through aggression. It establishes a business. On the coral reefs of the Indo-Pacific, this brightly colored crustacean sets up cleaning stations, essential service hubs, where predators become clients and survival is negotiated through mutual need. Its appearance is a calculated anomaly, growing to a precise length of 5 to 6 centimeters. Lysmata amboinensis possesses an architectural design split between warning and invitation. A vivid blood-red stripe runs down its amber back, split clean by a stark white line. But its most striking feature is its antennae. 6 long milk-white whips radiate from its head, waving like flags in the current. This is not ornament, it is signage. Inside this system, survival depends on a unique reproductive blueprint, protandric simultaneous hermaphroditism. The shrimp does not hatch into a fixed gender. It begins life strictly as a male. However, upon reaching maturity at a carapace length of approximately 8 to 10 millimeters, the system updates. It does not replace its male anatomy. It adds to it. The shrimp develops fully functional female reproductive organs while retaining its male organs. It becomes both. This transformation eliminates the biological cost of searching for a specific gender. In a small, high-risk community, any 2 adult cleaner shrimp that meet can instantly mate. The process is synchronized with the female molting cycle, occurring every 20 to 28 days. Reproduction is rapid and precise. Copulation takes less than 30 seconds. One shrimp acts as the male, transferring a spermatophore to the newly molted partner. Within hours, the receiving shrimp lays between 200 and 500 bright green eggs, anchoring them beneath its abdomen. For 10 to 14 days, the carrying shrimp grooms and aerates the brood. The eggs shift from green to a translucent amber as the embryos consume the yolk. When darkness falls, the larvae are released into the open ocean as plankton, embarking on a grueling 5 to 6 month developmental journey through 11 distinct larval stages before settling back onto the reef. Number 4. The European flat oyster. Deep within the cold waters of northern Europe, this mollusk builds massive oyster reefs, acting as the master architect of the seabed ecosystem. This greatness does not stem from a display of dominance, but from a bizarre appearance and a highly flexible internal mechanism of cyclic, sequential hermaphroditism. The appearance of this creature is a calculated asymmetry of nature. Unlike typical bivalves, its shell structure is completely asymmetrical. It possesses a flat, circular, or pear-shaped shell, with a specific diameter ranging from 5 to 15 centimeters. The lower shell cupping deeply downwards to anchor firmly onto the substrate, while the upper shell remains completely flat, acting as a tightly sealed lid. The rough surface, covered with concentric layered scales and grayed like ancient limestone, allows them to camouflage and withstand immense water pressure. Yet, the pinnacle of its adaptation lies in its sex transformation mechanism to preserve the species. A flat oyster does not retain a fixed sex throughout its life. Upon reaching maturity at 1 to 2 years of age, the oyster begins its first reproductive cycle as a male. Immediately after releasing sperm, internal hormones begin restructuring the entire gonad. The biological system updates itself, transforming the former male into a fully functional female within a few weeks. This continuous sex-swapping process repeats multiple times throughout their lifespan of up to 20 years, closely dictated by water temperature. When the seawater temperature reaches the optimal threshold of 1560 degrees Celsius, the transition accelerates, ensuring the population maintains a perfect sexual balance without any external trigger. Their reproductive process is one of absolute internal protection. Fertilization does not occur randomly in the open environment. The male releases sperm into the water column, and a nearby female draws this water into her mantle cavity to fertilize her eggs. The fertilized eggs are not abandoned. They are retained and strictly brooded. A single 10-centimeter female oyster can produce and shelter between 500,000 and 1,000,000 eggs in a single cycle. After 7 to 10 days of rigorous protection, The eggs develop into veliger larvae with rudimentary shells before being expelled into the open sea. The larvae drift in ocean currents for 10 to 20 days before seeking a hard surface to settle and metamorphose into young spat. By eliminating the need to move, this creature concentrates all its energy on filter feeding and self-restructuring its sex. An individual can be a father this summer and become a mother the next. Number 5. The sea breams. Sea breams, the family Sparidae, do not maintain a fixed sex throughout their lives. They redefine their own bodies to survive. Beneath the waves lies a cold, precise evolutionary strategy where sex is not biological destiny, but the ultimate tool for species optimization. Most species within this family operate under the mechanism of protandrous hermaphroditism, a self-updating system governed by strict order. Upon hatching and during the first 1 to 2 years of life, 100% of individuals develop a fully functional male reproductive structure. Yet, deep within their bodies, a region of primitive ovarian tissue lies dormant, awaiting cues from the environment and social structure. This anatomical and endocrine transformation triggers when the fish reaches a length of 28 centimeters to 30 centimeters, typically during its 3rd or 4th year. When the population lacks large females or when an individual hits the optimum size threshold, the brain-pituitary-gonad axis activates. Testosterone levels plummet, giving way to a surge of estradiol. The testicular tissues self-destruct and degenerate entirely, while the ovarian tissue is awakened, taking over and restructuring the entire reproductive organ. The male does not vanish through competition. It transforms into a fully functional female. This strategy fundamentally solves nature's probability puzzle. In teleost fish, body size is directly proportional to ovarian capacity. A large female black sea bream, Acanthopagris schlegeli, can produce anywhere from 670 to 554,070 eggs per breeding season, reaching a maximum density of 850 eggs per gram of body weight. By keeping smaller individuals as males to conserve energy and converting larger individuals into females to maximize egg output, the species ensures offspring production is always at its peak. Reproduction occurs offshore, where eggs and sperm are released simultaneously into the water column under a polygynandrous mechanism, with 1% of males and 100% of females participating in cross-mating to maintain genetic diversity for the next generation. This adaptation is not confined to endocrinology. It is visibly manifested in bizarre anatomical anomalies, particularly their jaw structure. Instead of the sharp teeth typical of open ocean predators, sea breams possess jaw that precisely mirrors human dentition. At the front of the mouth sit short, wide, and flat incisors, but deep inside lie 2 to 4 rows of pebble-like molar teeth, hard as stone. This anomalous dentition generates immense crushing force, turning them into biological machines capable of shattering the thick calcium shells of crustaceans, crabs, and oysters. What defines the sea bream family is not the permanence of a single sex or a fixed morphology. It is the capacity for self-correction and adaptation. A flawless biological system where the female is not born from the start, but is forged through the accumulation of time, size, and systemic order. Number 6. The Amphiprionidae. Amphiprionidae are not born as queens. They become them through an astonishing process of sex change. Within coral reefs, clownfish exist in a strict hierarchy hidden among the venomous tentacles of sea anemones. This group consists of a dominant female, a breeding male, and smaller, non-reproductive individuals. It is a society defined by size-based order and sequential reproduction. The most distinctive biological feature of this species lies in its mechanism of protandrous hermaphroditism. Every individual clownfish is born possessing both primitive ovarian and testicular tissues. Within the system, if the dominant female dies, the social structure reorganizes immediately. The largest male undergoes a complex hormonal and anatomical transformation, where testicular tissues gradually degenerate and ovaries develop vigorously, turning it into a fully functional female. This conversion from male to female can occur within just 2 to 4 weeks. In terms of physical appearance, the dominant female is typically significantly larger than the male, with a body length reaching 10 to 15 centimeters depending on the species, while the male is usually only about 60 to 70% of that size. This disparity is a vital boundary for maintaining rank. Clownfish possess a specialized layer of mucus covering their skin, with a chemical composition lacking sialic acid, which renders them immune to the stinging cells, nematocysts, of the anemone. creating a natural protective fortress. Scientific data indicates that in a single clutch, the female can lay between 100 and 1,000 eggs at a time, depending on her age and body mass. The egg hatching rate typically reaches over 80% under stable environmental conditions. Egg protection is performed almost entirely by the male. It spends an average of 30 to 60 minutes per hour cleaning and fanning the eggs with its pectoral fins, maintaining the necessary oxygen concentration during an incubation period of 6 to 10 days, depending on water temperature. The stability of the system is not based on brute force, but on absolute adaptation. When a smaller individual inadvertently grows too fast, it faces aggression, chasing, biting, from the dominant pair, making staying small a survival strategy to avoid conflict.